This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Allan Dib. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I'm doing wonderful. Wonderful to be on the show, Engel.
Oh, it's a good... so it's Angel. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, Angel, I apologize.
That's so funny. Amazing audience. I was actually explaining to him that, to Allan, actually, that, his name is so easy to pronounce. So I love it, right? And then we got started. And then I said, good night, Allan. And he said, hey, Engel.
There you go. Just demonstrating how not to say it.
I appreciate that. And he is fast on the feet as well. He is fast. What part of the world are you in right now, Allan?
I'm in Melbourne, Australia.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history?
Well, I'm a marketer, and I help small businesses with their marketing. So that's why we're connecting.
Ooh, which is something that is definitely needed. Who did you learn that skill from?
Look, I had many different mentors. I picked and chose bits and pieces over the probably about a decade trying to learn this myself, and it took me too long and it cost me too much. But I got there in the end. So I had many different mentors like Mal Emery, Dan Kennedy. There's been many of them. So I can credit a lot of people, and I do credit a lot of people in my book as well.
Well, tell us about your book, please.
Oh, yes. So the book is called The One-Page Marketing Plan. It's all about having marketing clarity and having a real framework for, first of all, planning your marketing and then executing on it, because I just find that so many people are just flying blind as it relates to their marketing and their business growth strategy.
You said that, and the thought picture that popped into my mind is, people are flying blind, but social media gives them the look of eyes. So when you see them and when you see what they're doing, it looks as though, yes, they have a plan. But when you dig deeper, oh my, when you peel back that metaphoric curtain, right? It's not what it seems, isn't it?
Exactly right. So many people are pinning their hopes on either social media or other such things. And there's nothing wrong with social media. I'm not against it, but so many people think that it's the be all and end all, and that all other marketing media is irrelevant. And I find that that's really not the case at all.
Give us one part of the one-page marketing plan canvas that we can. Yeah. I mean, like a wet. In Trinidad, we would say a wet truth. Yeah. Give us that, please.
Perfect. So if you visualize a single sheet of paper split into 9 boxes, so 3 rows of 3. So that's what the one-page marketing plan canvas looks like. And by the way, if you're listening at a computer at the moment, you can just go to successwise.com and you can download a copy while you're listening to this. But it's basically 3 rows of 3, and the first row of 3 is all about the before phase. So that's before anyone knows that you exist, before they even know who you are. So that's how you attract attention of your ideal target market. Then we go into the during phase, and that's all about taking them from being vaguely interested to becoming a client. And then the after phase is all about you delivering a world-class experience and turning your audience into raving fans who refer new business to you and who deal with you on a regular basis.
And that's moving us from red to amber to then green, yeah?
That's exactly right.
That's cool. Where did the idea come from?
Look, the before, during, and after idea, I shamelessly stole that from Dean Jackson. I made it my own by splitting it into the 9 9 steps of the one-page marketing plan. But as I say in the first chapter of the book, I've invented very little. I came up with a one-page marketing plan canvas, but I've taken the best of the best. I see my book as like a best-of collection of marketing ideas and strategies that I've personally used, that my clients have used, and that I've seen over the years, and I put it into one resource because, I spent so many years learning this stuff, and I really wrote the book that I wish I had at the time, that really took a holistic approach, that took me through the entire journey of how do you take someone from not knowing that you exist to being a raving fan and a client.
Now, PMP usually stands for project management. Yeah. Do you have many people that come into your circle because of the PMP side of things, thinking it is project management?
No, I've never had anyone mix it up. I mean, I've seen that used in project management, but I've never had anyone say that they were confused by that. So I don't know. It's all
Wonderful.
Good so far.
Is there any connection to it? If you look at it, though, it's okay. No. Wonderful. No. All right. Well, I mean, that is amazing. Love it. Definitely would like to dig deeper into it. I love the way you've used what the traffic light looks like, and I think individuals do respond to that. If not everyone in the world who has driven at some point in time. Yeah, so that's pretty intriguing. Tell me, who did you learn the ability to combine things from and then produce what you've produced here?
Look, I'm not sure who I've learnt where to combine things. I mean, I had a mentor once tell me, and I think this is so true, that you don't come up with something kind of completely original because it's too expensive, too difficult, and too dangerous. Because let's leave all of the inventions of brand new things to kind of the geniuses, the Steve Jobses and the other geniuses like that. And mere mortals like you and I would do better by following existing models that work and taking pieces that work. And I think it was also Steve Jobs and perhaps Pablo Picasso who said, great artists steal, right? So great artists take the work of other artists and they improve them. So I don't think there's any big badge of honor necessarily to be had by doing something completely original and then taking the risks and failing with it. I'd rather start with something that I know works and then improve it over time. And then when you become a master at that, that's when you can take some big risks and do something completely original, and in my opinion anyway.
Tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
One of the things I've done really consistently is just study and study and study. So I read every day. I keep myself sharp because there are new things happening and new things coming out in marketing and in business all of the time. And so, I try to make sure that I'm at the cutting edge and that my team is at the cutting edge. I tell my team that we really need to be the gold standard for our clients. So when I work with clients, I want to show them what's actually working for me rather than, telling them to do something or guiding them on something that I've had no experience in. So me and my team treat my business like a mad scientist's laboratory. We test new strategies, we test new tactics, and, some of them fail and some of them work. And the ones that work, we show them to clients and members and show them exactly how to execute on that.
How does it make you feel like when you're speaking to them based on the concrete experience that you've had?
I love it. It's life-changing because, people go from marketing confusion to marketing clarity, really from doing random acts of marketing to doing things that work. And, I say it sort of tongue-in-cheek, but also I do mean it. It changes lives and it saves lives. So many people who fail in business do so because they don't understand marketing and they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to get new clients. And to be able to help people to either turn their businesses around from not doing very well to thriving, or from doing very well and really hitting up the next level, I love it. I don't think there's anything I'd rather be doing, and that's what I do. I'm lucky enough to be able to do that all day, every day.
How have you seen your clients interact with consistency? I'm very sure that it's an integral part of any system. How have you seen them interact with consistency?
Yeah, look, I find that it is a challenge. So some clients grab the material and just run with it and execute, and that's fantastic. Other clients have more challenges in terms of time and execution, and they need a little bit of help. But with both groups, I find, when we get to a point of clarity, when we really understand the big picture and what we want to accomplish and where we want to go, it makes things infinitely easier, because a lot of people are stuck with confusion and hype when it comes to marketing. The guy who does LinkedIn tells you to do LinkedIn. The guy who does pay-per-click tells you to do pay-per-click. And it's confusing to understand who to follow and what to do. And so when we get to that kind of framework and that clarity around the strategy, that makes things infinitely easier to execute and run with.
Love it. Amazing audience. You're hearing it live from Allan Dib, serial entrepreneur. You can connect with him at successwise.com. Again, successwise.com. Allan, let's switch gears for a moment. Let me now invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Allan, what is your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory is watching, I believe it was either Batman or Superman. I remember sitting in front of a TV with, I must have been less than 3 years old, just watching Batman or Superman. I think it was Batman. Yeah.
Was this the cartoon or was it the
no, I think it was the cartoon.
All right. Why do you think this memory is so clear?
I don't know. I've always been into superheroes. I think of myself as a marketing superhero. So, and I also somewhat modeled the logo of my company off the S from Superman. So,
love it. That's great. That's great. How do you see that memory connecting even more deeper to who you are today?
Yeah, so one of the things that I say to people is, I help take business owners from zero to marketing hero, and I think that that superhero, bringing that out in my clients and in myself, I think that's a large part of what drives me.
Sweet. Can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind with that memory? Sure. I love the fact that you said Superman and Batman, and that you weren't too sure if it was either or, because I think it's so fascinating. They both carry two different personalities. However, I think they're the two personalities that, if I had to draw on comics for what's required in business, especially when it comes to showing up as what's required to let the business live, like I could see Superman being the really nice guy that brings in the leads, but Batman being the guy that says, hey, we need to sell this thing, or we need to sell something. And I just love how that connects here in terms of what you're producing here and creating for individuals by doing it within your company as well, being the Superman and the Batman, where that personality is necessary, and then helping others see what works and what doesn't work.
I love it. That's a great interpretation.
Oh, thank you. If we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
Beat It by Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely connects, right? Again, you could see Superman and Batman busting moves to Beat It.
For sure.
All right, my friend. Well, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Allan?
I'm ready.
Allan, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Well, I hope that I'm passing my skills off every day to my clients. So that's I think that's a daily process.
Hit me yes or no.
Sorry?
Hit me yes or no.
Yes or no with
the question, yeah. Is it yes or
yes.
Is it no?
Yep.
There we go. Are you married?
Yes.
Do you have children?
No.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Yes.
What about screen time, the phone and the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
More.
All right. If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, Allan, a statement that represents who you are, Allan Dib, what would you say that is?
I would say someone who helps you play a bigger game.
Someone who helps you play a bigger game. All right, Allan, this has been a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Look, the thing that I would share is really make that mindset shift from being from the doing of whatever you're doing to the marketing of doing whatever you're doing, because that will be a massive shift for you. It's something that will change the way that you think, and it will change your business forever.
Love it. Allan Dib, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you very much for being having me on the show, Angel.
Definitely a pleasure. A pleasure I treasure.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazel Enterprise.